Got some information I want to share with my people. I'm going to do some screenshots and stuff from my computer because I don't feel like editing videos on my phone. I'm trying to get this done quick. But the main point is the information, okay? Look at the information, vet what I'm saying, look it up, and you'll see for yourself. Now's the time. Get in there and do it. All right, first I'm going to show you here. Federal Housing Finance Agency, right? They put a chart together that shows, based on the Census Division house price indexes, what the value of houses have been going up. And this is the last quarter of 2021, right? That's the most recent time period they put these tables together. But if you look at this, United States, right? In the last quarter, went up 3%. In the last year, about 17.5%, right? These are the different regions of the United States. And it shows correspondingly how much they went up in those regions. And it also shows how much prices have gone up or down in the last 5 years in those regions. Food for thought. This year, it's estimated by economists and strategists and other people, more highfalutin and way more smarter than me. Way more smarter, that's bad grammar. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. They predict that housing prices are going to raise in the total United States by 10 to 11% by the end of 2022. That means, I'm going to explain it actually in the next part of the video I'm going to show you. So here we are, next part of the vid. We have all the states shown here, right? Ranked from 1 all the way down to 50. Here we're going to show how much these prices of homes have gone up in the last year. So first we have Arizona 27, Utah 27, Idaho 27, Florida 25, Tennessee 24, Montana 23, Nevada, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Maine, Hawaii, Washington. All right, so as you go down, you see most of these numbers are above that 17%, the average we saw for the total United States. For an average to be a higher number, the majority of numbers have to be above the average. Because if you have half above and half below, your average is 0. If you have half above, half below, and your average is a number higher than 0, then it means the majority of numbers are above the average. So that means is if you live in a state that's booming, has some growth going on, you're going to see your housing prices go up even higher than the U.S. average 17%. If economists are estimating another 10% this year, it's a great time to be getting in on trying to purchase a home. If we scroll all the way to the bottom, right, the lowest ranking state that gained in house price in the last year was the District of Columbia, okay? And it's over here showing last year, 6%, okay? The next state above that is Louisiana, who gained 10%. So on average, if they're estimating 10 to 11% in the next year, you can reasonably suspect that if you live in one of these states closer towards the top, you will be closer to 12, 15, maybe 20%, maybe a little bit lower than what we saw last year, but still a very great gain on value in your property. Just wanted to show this, FHFA.gov. The reason I'm sharing this is because I'm trying to impress upon people that I know and people that I want to see win that home ownership, in my opinion, I know some people believe they don't want to own a home, they just want to rent, whatever. That's fine, do what you want to do. But the numbers and data show that home ownership is one of the bedrocks, foundations of our nation, our economy. When you own a home, you're helping pump more money into the economy because you have to pay and take care of that home. You have maintenance, you have insurance, you get new windows, you upgrade your house, you upgrade your kitchen, you do things that puts money into small businesses and other places that you have to purchase things in order to take care of your home. The other benefit and value I see in homes is with housing prices going up like they are currently because of our current economic status. I mean, right now we have inflation going on. We have gas prices rising. We have wars. We just got out of a pandemic. We have other things happening that are factors that are going to put a tight squeeze on things. Also, the feds are talking about interest rates going up. So let me give you an example with just some round, easy numbers, right? If you got approved for a home, let's say, and I'm using fictitious numbers, but the principle is the same when you apply the real math, okay? Let's say you got approved for a home, you got approved for $500,000, $500,000, right, to buy a house. And you got that at the interest rates when they were super, super low, close to 0. Well, that's great because when they calculate your debt to income ratio and what your payment will be on that mortgage, they're looking at it saying, yeah, they can afford this because a low interest rate, it's gonna be a low payment. Boom, they can buy a house up to $500K. You go around shopping, you find some houses that are nice. You're like, well, I don't want to pay a mortgage that's going to be $500,000. I'm going to buy a house that's worth, maybe $400 or so. Get the same interest rate, be great. Then interest rates start hiking up, right? When interest rates hike up, guess what? You have a higher payment on that mortgage that you're going to take out for that home, right? So when that payment goes higher, all of a sudden your debt to income ratio number is different. And the mortgage company is like, hey, we can't lend them that much money because that's going to be a higher payment. And I don't know if they can afford that with their income and their debt to income ratio. So they say, hey, we're going to have to lower the total limit you can buy, right? So let's say you went from a $500,000 house And now you can't afford that because interest rates are higher. And now you have to buy a house that's worth, just for number's sake, let's say 250 or 300, right? You might still be able to find a decent house, but if you found a house that fit all of your needs and wants at 500, it's going to be very hard to find a house at 300 or 250 that fits that because interest rates are now higher. So I would urge people, if you have an opportunity to get in on buying a house now before the interest rates start creeping up even higher, go ahead and get in on it now, because with the growth that you see that's going to happen in the market, what's projected in houses, you're going to make all your money back in the next 5 years or so, or maybe less than that. You're going to see housing prices continue to increase. If that time were to come, you may have opportunity to refinance and take cash out. You may have opportunity to sell your home and have so much extra profit that you can then put a down payment on a larger, nicer home that you wanted. So if you can't get into something that's your dream home now, get into what you can, because the price of that home is going to go up in value. There's some neighborhoods in the area where I live that I've looked at just for giggles to go see what they had. And the office in the neighborhood, in the new construction, was closed, right? We called the number on there just to check and see what's going on. They said, yeah, that neighborhood, we're not even done building half the houses in there, but the whole neighborhood is sold out. Everything is sold in the neighborhood, right? They said, actually, there's some people whose house is in the process of being built. They already sold it to another person, because in the process of their house being built, they went in and bought the lot, bought the land, got the house built for a certain price point. Because how much housing prices have been going up recently, they've already sold that home. They haven't even lived in it. It's not even done being built, but they already sold it to another person. That's crazy. And if you think about what else is happening with inflation and with what's happening with people being priced out of homes, people were saving up to purchase a home. Interest rates go up, they can no longer afford that home. They can afford a lesser home. Well, if you have a family, you got kids, you got certain standards you want to live at, you're like, man, I can't buy a home because that's not going to fit my needs right now. If you don't buy a home, does that mean you don't live anywhere? No, it means you go somewhere and you rent. So if there's more people renting because less people can purchase homes, that means there's more demand for rent. When there's more demand for rent, even though inflation's happening and even though other things are happening, guess what landlords are doing? They're raising their rents. I've talked to some other friends that were literally in rental battles to try and get into a place, right? They put their deposit down, they had their background check done, they had their credit check, and they were hoping to get into a rental. And then a week later, the rental company or the apartment complex called them back and said, hey, we're going to refund your money and stuff. We're not going to rent to you. Someone else came in and they're willing to pay an extra $250 per month for rent. So we're going to go ahead and rent it to them because the demand is so high. There are people coming to rental places saying, hey, I know your rent says $1,000 a month. I'll pay you $1,500 and I'll give you my first and last month's deposit right now. And here we go. Get me in there because I need a place to stay. I need a place to live. And this place fits the needs I want to have. So when you look at what's happening with the economy and how there's more people being forced to rent because they wanted to purchase and they couldn't purchase, rent prices are only going to continue to go up, which means real estate prices are going to continue to go up. Because if you have a rental property and you can prove on paper that you have consistent people paying rent at a higher amount, that makes the price and the value of your property go up even more. Because if someone else were to buy that as an investment property, they can charge those same higher rents and get that higher cash flow. So right now, if you have opportunity to get in on a home, try and get in on a home. Pay off your debt, to get rid of your bills, fix your credit and all that kind of stuff, and get into a home so you can get into one, because the prices are only going to go up. You'll make your money back in the future when you sell it. And I just think it's going to be a great benefit for a lot of people if you're in the right financial place to do it. All right, about to show another one. This is the house price index report. Data is through January 2022. This is just released March 29th. So this is recent, relevant information. All right, I'm going to scroll down to one of the first charts I want to show you. Here is a housing price index from 91 to present, right? This is showing the price of houses in thousands from 91 to present, January of every year, right? So you look back at 91, houses were around 100K, all right? You look here around 2000, houses were around 150. You look here around 2008, houses went up to about 225, right? In between 200 250. Housing market crash happened in 08. It went down. It started recovering. In 2015, 2016, it was back up to about that 225 mark, right? We look here January 2019 or so. If we scroll over from there, it's about 250. We look at 2020, that's about 250, 275. We look at 2021, that's closer to 305. And then right now, January 2022, housing prices were up, almost up to 400. They're around the 372, 375, I think was around the price point of homes. So if you look at that over time, housing prices have done nothing but continue to rise over time. So with what I've been talking about with prices going up in the near future, now's the time to get in, continue getting a home, getting into property that you can, because the prices are only going to continue to go up. I said it before, and I'll say it again and keep saying it. Today's highs are tomorrow's lows. If you look at what's happening around the world, these prices and numbers are only going to continue to go up. The only way to hedge yourself against that is to continue to invest and make some wise choices financially. So I encourage you to take time, watch some videos, learn some stuff, get some more financial literacy, understand what you can do to help increase your future, and go ahead and do it. If you've got any questions or anything, you hit me up. I don't mind giving people some insight on my opinion. I'm not a mortgage broker, real estate agent, anything like that. I'm just someone who looks at numbers, looks at information, and I can pull and make some, I guess, my own analysis or my own predictions based on the numbers. Either way, hope it helps you, and hope you do great in your journey. Peace.